Hey there, I'm Cyberchroma. Welcome to another stream. My camera is not positioned exactly right. Oh no, we move things. Yeah, I'm back. Oh, my hair is messy, but that's okay. Back after a week or so of not streaming, and hopefully back more consistently now. Let me first make sure everything's all going, working correctly and whatnot. Background music. Is that looks like it's too quiet. Maybe something along those lines. Let me just double check that it be going and be going at good volume. Don't mind the feedback loop. Good enough. Random background music. Good. Okay. It's like been a while since I've streamed. I gotta remember how to do things. Oh no. Yeah, so I guess first I just establish what it is we're going to be doing today, and then also ramble a bit about why I haven't streamed in a week. So, well, I'm going to skip to the second thing. I did a game jam that was over the course of this last week, and this is the game we made with it, and yeah, it turned out well. But the thing we're going to be doing in today's stream is... So down there, below stream, there's a looping animation thing. It's actually happening as a result of a program that's running live. It used to actually be a recorded, video, taking something that's happening in a Unity scene and rendering out as a video and then playing that. But now it works live. It's a live thing that's playing. So it gets more randomness. It doesn't need to loop perfectly or whatever. We have three versions of this animation. We tried another one with some lasers that I haven't turned that into anything good yet. Yeah, so we have a few variations. I don't know what's going to happen if I launch another one while one is going. I did a slight bit of organization. This didn't exist like this until like an hour ago. If I close you, are you going to pick up on the other one? You do. Interesting. So we have that 3D conveyors one that exists. We have that was the first one we made actually, and then there was an earlier version of it that was more simplistic before we kind of got everything up and running with it. We have this one that's growing circles. That's in the kind of my brand colors a little bit, the cyan, magenta, yellow, and then just black, white, and gray thrown in there just for variety's sake. And then because it's Halloween, I also have, so I have just random, a screenshot of that program running that's just if none of them are open, just rather than just pure black. And then we have a Halloween version, because Halloween. In a second, it takes OBS a second to, get it. Which is some Halloween colors, which could just be orange and black, but again, just kind of throwing in more stuff for variety. It's rarely-ish there's a yellow one, and then rarely-ish there's also a purple one, just, yeah, for color's sake. So those are the ones we have so far, which it's funny, the circles one I actually made pretty fast. I just had an idea what if just randomly growing circles? I think I could program that quickly, and then I did, and then it works or whatever. Yeah, I still think though, looking back on it, I think my favorite one is the conveyor cubes, because I like it. I like the 3D more. I don't know. I like that there's more going on. I think both it being 3D and then also because it's physics. It's more, I don't know, I think it's more interesting. It serves the purpose of just being while I'm rambling and nothing's really changing on my screen, just having stuff going on. And then there's so below me is where it's kind of faded. That's where chat is. So there's not a whole lot going on there on purpose. And then, yeah, below is the actual, the rest of it, just falling cubes because 'twas an idea. And then just, color schemes of partially, again, my sort of logo colors, and then also just random stuff thrown in there. Photo variety. I have said before that there's more that I want to do with this. So one, which probably won't happen for a while. Right now it's running on the same computer that I'm streaming on, and that takes up some amount of performance. It would be cool. I have an old computer off screen over there. It'd be cool to set up this running on a different computer, let that computer handle the performance costs of, complicated physics or whatever, and then somehow get it from that computer into fed into OBS. It'd be cool if it was like done a similar way that like chat is put in OBS or whatever, through either some kind of cloud-based thing or a direct like wired connection of some kind. I don't know the best way to like go about such things, but that's like not necessary. It doesn't really change the functionality. It's just trying to get back a bit of performance, even though it's not taking up that much to begin with. I have a decent computer, so it's not the biggest concern, but it would be like a nice to have thing to be able to, yeah. As well, currently it's like I have each of the animations as their own thing. If I eventually have multiple of them, it'd be cool to have all of them as part of one built Unity thing, but then being able to switch between them, which I also don't know the best way of doing that, because I mean, to some degree, be like, oh, I press some complicated hotkey and then it like switches. But if I'm having this running while I'm, programming or whatever, me typing code could be accidentally triggering the hotkeys, unless I make it something super complicated. But like, yeah. Which, well, I say that, a potential solution to that is I want to get one of those Stream Deck things where you have like an extra thing of buttons that you can hook up different stuff to. Having one of those, and then those are set up to swap out what animation is playing. There's a potential solution to that. Then, what else? There's more stuff. Oh, chat interaction. Be able to have some of these animations like chat. Like you type stuff in chat and it actually like affects what's going on to some degree. That'd be super cool. Even like, and that can go to varying degrees. I can be like, oh, if someone follows, then like it does something special or whatever. That kind of stuff. But yeah, so like, I have ideas of things I can do. And then, one additional thing on making more of these animations, as I'm continuing to make more just other stuff in Unity, like a game that I'm working on called The Handyman with the Unicycle, I can then, like, dual use assets. Anything I make in this game, I could potentially turn into an animation, both taking graphical stuff and, like, code or whatever, and vice versa. Like, we had one where we were trying to make lasers. Maybe this game might have laser hazards. It's possible. Who knows? Yeah. So that's. Yeah, there's a lot more that I plan on doing to make the stuff cooler, which is what hopefully today's stream is going to be a bit of. I want to start planning a new one. That's sort of when I first conceived the idea of having background animation below the stream thing, which I don't think animation is the right term, because it's not really like, it's a live thing with randomness that doesn't loop. So it was an animation before, now it's not. So I don't know, any better word for what I call it. The trademarked below the stream live Unity feed thingamabob. Nah. I want to make a new one and make one that sort of is similar to when I first had the idea to make this thing, the kind of stuff I was thinking of. Because right now it's just like, oh, it's just cubes going like a thing, or oh, growing circles or whatever. My far-off idea of what I'd eventually like to make, we're going to make like a simpler version of that, start making that today, is having a environment set up that's like a level of a 3D platformer looking environment. That might, just like this one, like I can either go for, oh, it looks like an actual setting, like a forest, inside of buildings, like a factory, whatever, or go for like how it currently looks, where it like, the thing below the stream where it like purposely looks like a in-progress Unity level kind of a thing. I like that sort of like prototype looking thing for some of these animations. Anyway, so having this kind of environment and then having a character, which could either be make some random original new character thing, or I do have an animated me that I've made that is like my profile picture thing. Getting that from Blender into Unity and using that as a character. And basically having it running around the scene. That'll be like kind of standing there idly, and then like, oh, thing will spawn over on this side of the level, and he actually path finds his way to, running around to get the thing. And then basically, yeah, having a decently intricate level of just idly like running around it. I think that would be cool. And then slowly make that more complicated of like the different things that the character has to, like different obstacles to be having to like get around to get from different point A's to point B's. Yeah, so that's a potential one that I want to make that I think could be cool. And we're going to make, as I said, sort of a cut-down version of that today. We're not going to make the whole thing today. It's going to, imagine something that's going to take a while. But basically, I want to make one that I'm calling Wandering Cube, I guess. The name doesn't matter, but whatever. We need to call it something as like a prototype name, whatever. So basically, I want to do that idea that I just said, but instead of having a character running around, it's just having a cube. And simplifying a lot. Just a cube that, like, we spawn sort of waypoints around an area, and he travels between them. And maybe we start with it being completely flat, and then get, like, that there can be gaps and there's jumping involved. Get some verticality in there. It'd be cool if the area had, like, you know, moving platforms that the sort of AI was skilled enough to, you know, deal with. But, you know, anything like that can get really complicated real fast. So we're going to start with, like, the most simplified version of that, and then hopefully continue to make it more complicated. And then if that all works, it would be cool to then, yeah, get chat stuff involved that, you know, you type stuff in chat, then, like, special things happen or whatever, which, gotta figure out how to even do that in the first place. To be able to get reading what Twitch chat stuff does to actually, you know, have a Unity scene be able to respond to that. But, like, I'm sure it's possible. Just gonna take an amount of Googling. Oh, Puffin, hello. Codename Wonder Cube. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, a cube that can traverse anything. Yeah. Also, hello. Yeah. So one thing that makes this tricky to, like, plan around is that I'm not just making an environment that, like, oh, it's, you know, how you're going to be viewing this is like a 16:9, you know, full screen view space or whatever. In order to fit how I have the dimensions of down there, it has to fit in an area that is, let's go infinite Unity or infinite OBS for a second, you know, this tall across this wide. So getting a good looking environment thing that, like, you can tell what's going on, but having it be super thin but super wide, that becomes a challenge. And then there's also, like, this bit up here that's, like, not important, but if there happens to be stuff there, then, like, okay, sure. There's also, so in my head, I imagine this having, like, a static camera that's just viewing an environment that we make. We could do stuff that has, like, an actual, you know, camera that moves around or whatever, but then, of course, that complicates things a lot more, and I don't want it to be too messy or whatever. So, yeah. Whole thing. A lot of things, small things to consider, because I'm doing a bit of an unorthodox idea. Also, I'm lowering the desk. Yeah. Also, Paffin, I did so I haven't streamed for like a week because I've been doing a game jam over here. This is the game of that game jam. For anyone who doesn't know, game jam is just a, like, game making competition. This particular one was get a theme. The theme was growth, and then we had a week to make a game that somehow relates to that theme. This has, like, an intro sequence. Actually, I'm gonna, yeah, mute for now. I have more stuff I might show with this game. Imagine as people ask, I'll be showing this game a bunch in this stream. But yeah, so basically, as anything, I should explain any of what's going on. So the way that we took the theme growth was kind of in two ways. We have a UFO that flies around with a tractor beam thing, and basically is, like, sucking up objects in order to make the ship physically grow. Once you cross certain point thresholds, you, like, grow a bunch, and then you have different, like, objects that you have to be picking up. But also, I didn't even say the name. The name of this game is Trend Sucker. Basically. So, does this look familiar? How about this? Except it's on the wrong side, I guess, for me. We made an environment as if it looks kind of like a live stream sort of thing. We have this, like, whatever, like, story in the intro that's like, oh, it's an alien that crash landed on Earth, and then somehow by growing as, like, an influencer that can, like, fuel his ship in order for him to get home. Because, sure, why not? So it's like a live stream. It's like an alien doing a live stream trying to get followers, and you're, like, sucking up, like, trendy objects or whatever in your UFO. So you have, like, a tractor beam thing and all that. It does have a controller here. It does have controller support. Wow, look at that. Which, better with controller support because you actually move all around and whatever. Yeah, so you have, like, sort of the trends that come up at the top, and you have to, like, yeah, suck up the things and get however many points they're worth. And, yeah, a lot of randomly generated stuff. I can just get enough. Oh, I'm not second up any of the right things. No. Yeah, so made this in a week. Didn't, like, finish all of the things that we were hoping to make with this. I did do this in a team. But, like, because also I was just, like, so much busier this week that I thought I'd be with, like, other things. Yeah, it turned out all right. Also got, like, yeah, things like jack-o'-lanterns, because Halloween. If I can real quick get to just... get enough things to just get to... Once I cross 100,000 points, then a cool thing happens. In a minute, just need to... Also, I'm running out of time. Oh, no. Yeah, like, grows. And then, like, now you're in a new area, and then new stuff is spawning or whatever. Also, pause screen and whatnot. I'll show up more with this. All right, I meant to throughout the stream. But yeah, that's the gist of it. And then there's, like, a main menu and whatnot. By the way, this is me, like, last night at, like, 2 a.m. or whatever. I just messed with OBS camera settings a bunch and somehow made this. It's dark for the making up for the lack of a costume. Just, yeah, I don't know. Looks enough like an alien to barely, pass. But, yeah. Anyways, so that's a thing. Yeah, it turned out all right. Anywho, so back to this stuff. Where were we? So, yeah, as I said, I want to start making a new thing of this. I guess I'm going to start as a template by just taking the conveyor scene and duplicating it. So I said this one's going to be called Wandering Cube. Blah. I expect this to not use this particular scene to not use the conveyor belt at all, so I'm fine to delete them. And if I really need them, I can then take them from the other thing. Even like color scheme wise, I don't know what I necessarily want to go for. I'm imagining more of like gray or whatever, but again, I don't know to what degree environment wise if I want to stick with this like, oh, it's like a grid pattern, it's like a prototype Unity thing, or make some kind of actual environment that has things going on, or like you know, both ways, having this kind of stuff but having it be way more detailed than just a ground and wall. Yeah, although I'm kind of am getting ahead of myself. I actually wanted to not even I don't know, we'll see how this goes, not even go to the Unity stuff just yet, because so thing that's gonna matter a lot is how the camera is viewing all this, especially with, you know, again, it's not like a proper camera, right? So do I know exactly? I have it, I think I had it written down at one point exactly like how tall versus how wide. I should be doing this in like Photoshop, not Paint. Gotta wait for things to launch. I want to say that this is like, it's like 200 pixels tall. But I don't know if that's, oh wait, I can find out by, so let me not mess with things. 200, yeah, 200 pixels tall by just the normal width of like 1920. New file. Just Wandering Cube concept. So as I said, what, 1920 by, and yeah, there's the bit that's below here, but I'm like not too concerned about that. I'm more planning around the 200. The rectangle that's down there, and then the area where chat is like an afterthought, kind of. Okay, blah. It's so thin, and I mean, yeah, if I really wanted to, I could like change the dimensions of stuff, but I don't want it to be taking up that much real estate on screen. But I do like that, again, my webcam being unobstructing whatever's going on in the on the actual thing. Although I don't know if I might, you know, rearrange more with it, but for now, it's good enough. I want to, over the next little bit in general, just keep doing all these like little micro improvements to my stream and whatnot. I'm considering getting a better webcam thing, maybe. I think my microphone is fine, but yeah. It being clamped to my desk, though, isn't ideal, because any of me hitting my desk, like, I don't know, gets picked up a lot more, like some of my keyboard and whatnot. But I don't really have a good way of having it not as clamped to my desk. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so the thing I'm considering over the next little bit is just, yeah, random, what are, like, small things I can do, both just changing settings and stuff I'm already using, or like, actually getting more physical equipment to improve quality of the stream or whatever. I imagine, yeah, so the next couple streams are going to be, like, working on this and, like, other small, like, yeah, cool improvements. I want to finish Lost in Random. That was a game we were playing a little bit ago. Finished the story and whatnot. Got some achievement hunting to do, so we'll probably do, like, one more stream finishing off that. I want to do it before October ends, because it's spooky game for spooky season a little bit. Next time I do play a game on stream, I have no idea what it's going to be. Gotta figure that out, but probably won't be doing that for a bit, because I got this to be making. I have the Handyman with a unicycle, this game, that I can show off a bit of its current state. It's still very much a work in progress, but it's coming along. So, like, where I last had left this, because also I haven't touched this in a little bit, so looking back at the code is going to be something. Oh, Earthling Goddess, hello! You're almost out of October, though? Yes, I only got a few days. My current plan, I think, is... so you heard me just say that I was going to... Yeah, finish Lost in Random by the end of October. Today, tomorrow... Not this, tomorrow... Today, planning that. Tomorrow, working on it, hopefully building more of it, and then maybe, like, Monday or something. Take a break from this to do Lost in Random stuff. Eventually, I'll be getting back to working on, like, this sort of full time, this being the common streams that you see. It's just, this is a mess right now. I'm like, the thing I'm immediately programming with this is like hitting a bit of a dead end, being difficult. And I don't want my stream working on this just being me humming and hawing over code for hours and hours on end. I prefer to be working on this on stream when I have a better idea of what I'm doing, which I think will kind of come when this rebuilding the player stuff from the ground up gets to be a bit more finished. But yeah, enjoy your hms and haws. Like, it's fine for me to not be completely knowing what I'm doing, but there's like a limit when it, I don't know. With this, I've been like really struggling, because making a player in a game is like one of the most complicated parts of making a game. That's probably not completely true. I guess it varies from game to game, but a player is very complicated. And we did kind of have a player thing before. I just tore it apart and am building it from the ground up to get a better result on the other side. Mainly this. This is the why. Ignore that gravity stops existing for now. It will eventually. But yeah, getting the camera to like do this and do it properly, that was tricky. But yeah, so we're getting there. So currently the plan is I'm gonna keep working on this sort of on my own, while then doing lots of streams doing this like small stream related improvements, like the background animation thing. That's gonna take a while. Once I run out of that, if I'm still not finished this by then yeah, I'll do streams of this and I'll accept the fate of the humming and hawing or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, that's the thing. But also, hello. Did I say hello or something, Goddess? I might have. So the reason I haven't streamed in like a week is this. I made a game jam game. I did a game jam competition thing, made a game. This is that game. And yeah, it turned out pretty well. It's funny, a little bit, I remember you like took like a 2 or 3 week break or something like that. I also coincidentally around the same time, because of this game jam, had to do the same. Well, it was like I had the week long doing this game jam, and then the week before I was like doing a bunch of like errands and whatnot to sort of prepare to have more free time during the game jam to work on it. But then those plans fell apart because I ended up being super busy through it the week anyway. So didn't have as much time as I would have liked to invest in working on this game, but still turned out decently enough. Got 3 hours of sleep last night though, so like I am tired at the mo. Yeah, I went on vacay for about a week and then didn't really stream. I got back. Oh, very cool. Yeah, when's the last time I went on proper vacation? I don't know. Well, okay, no, that's not. Well, technically, I mean, like, hold on. When I didn't have a job, that was a vacation. Haha. No, I did get to go on a work trip back last April, so like that happened. That was cool. Yeah. And we'll likely be going on same work trip a year from now, half a year from now. That's how years work. Anyways, yeah. So this is game. Why is it not full screen? Yeah. So live streaming Alien. So funny enough, even though I'm Mr. Livestream Man, I did this with a group. I was not the one in the group to come up with the live stream idea, and that's funny. So yeah, it's like the gameplay is you're just like flying around sucking up objects or whatever. It's nothing too complicated. I wanted to do more with having the environment itself look more interesting. We just did not have time for that. The tank that was around, that's the hazard that's meant to shoot at you. It also isn't quite fully functional, but that's okay. Here's like objects to like get points. I believe I'm about to get enough points to sort of get into the next area. Wah! And then you're in a new area where there's like more things. There's like 3 areas that it goes between, and then when you run out of time, you get like an ending based on things. Actually, I'm gonna show over here. Probably like maybe the silliest thing I've done for a game. Let me present this in its full glory. Blah and blah. So this game has an intro. Is it gonna work? Hopefully it's gonna work.
Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to the life.
I did this at like 2 a.m. this morning.
Extraterrestrial who crash-landed on your quaint little blue planet.
Yeah.
I discovered that live streaming isn't just your
And that's me where I just took my lab coat and just did.
So every follower game is a fake
How I made this amazing costume was just this, and then like you can't see my eyes. You can't see my eyes because I had this on like this. This was my amazing, spectacular, put together in 10 seconds alien costume. And then making it super dark to make up for the lack of an actual costume. And then de-shifting my skin green. And talking like this. I'm your guy. Is it stupid? Yeah. Did it do the job? Also yes. Why it gets so loud all of a sudden? Oh. Apologies. That's because it's a game jam game with very little testing. So my apologies for your ears. Whoops. But yeah, so that's a game. That's Trend Sucker. Yeah, back to this that should be quieter. Probably. Looking at OBS levels, yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, that's that game. That is a game that I made. Is that what you're gonna wear for Halloween? Yeah, in real life, I'm gonna hue shift my skin green and then make it super. I go for Halloween, just like rather than wearing a lab coat, I just go around like this. Like, yeah, this is totally a costume. Be easier for me to just be generic scientist wearing lab coat properly, which is where I got this. I got this lab coat for part of a Halloween costume like 4 years ago or something, before I had started live streaming or whatever. And then was like, have it be part of the brand, the weird guy that wears a lab coat, slightly more memorable or whatever. And then I was in a house that like the last house I was in was super hot all the time in heat waves, so I abandoned the lab coat for a bit. But then now I'm in an area that's chillier, going into winter, so yeah. Anywho, although so I got this as part of a Halloween costume, but it's not like from a costume store or whatever. I got this from a place where people actually get lab coats, so it is for all intents and purposes like a real lab coat. Well, like it's from my a university store for like people who, if you have like chemistry classes and whatnot, like these are the lab coats that you get or whatever. Even though I didn't have any chemistry classes or whatever, but I like lab coats. And no, I don't wear this out in public. I wear this exclusively when I'm streaming, and then it sits on the chair between them. But they have a lab coat somewhere in the closet. Yeah. The idea of like eventually those streamers, like you get big enough, you sell merchandise or whatever, selling merch that's just selling lab coats with like a little like my logo on it or something would be. Music's still a bit much. Oh no, that's not good. Let's fix that. Thanks for the helping with stream time. I mean, I don't have headphones, I can't hear the music, but best I have is my phone playing my stream. It had to be like, oh, that is loud. It also doesn't help that like from song to song, this is from song to song, just because it's random YouTube things, there's different levels of volume or whatever. But anywho, that's good enough. There's a lot of little things, as I said, like, so me sort of being back into streaming now, hopefully consistently going forward. I want to try to have an actual streak where it's like, streamed for like a month where I've been able to stream like every day or like almost every day and have a streak going. That would be cool. But gotta be, you know, not busy to actually do that. But I want to keep making small improvements to my stream, like automating little things to make small minor improvements or whatever. But yeah, will come in due time. I have like a huge to-do list of different things that I'm gonna be working on, like Hammer with the Unicycle, which will eventually get back to a state of being playable. I still want to be making a demo of this game and getting that to be a thing. It'll be very cool. But yeah, definitely a work in progress. And then we have the no, not you. Oh yeah, the new little background animation that we're going to be making as like a mini project. It's also on my agenda eventually that I want to redo. I want to make a new logo. I don't like that my logo is on an orange background because it's flying away from an explosion. Orange is far from my favorite color, and I would like to, fix that at some point. Actually have, like, if you're looking at my profile picture, the main color is like more of a cyan or something, but also, eventually will happen. That will also potentially come with me making a new intro or whatever, but again, further down the line. Got a big to-do list, slowly gotta, be knocking things off one by one. And when I get to that, that'll involve like more blendering, especially with the actual, like, the character that's the animated me, it looks fine enough for the profile picture, but the behind the scenes is a bit of a mess, like from the side, it looks super weird. So I also kind of want to make a version 2 of that character, but gotta actually have the blender skills to do that, which we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Oh, right, actually, another thing. Reptilian Goddess, while you're here, I have a question, because you also do streaming stuff. I'm curious on... So when I stream, I tend to stream, like, later in the day, and I find on average I get, like, well... The viewers I get relative to the times that I stream, I'm trying to, like, look for patterns in that. Do you happen to notice, depending on when you stream in a day or, like, the days of the week that you stream, do you notice significant differences because of that in how much viewership you get or whatever? Because I'm considering sort of changing a bit how the average, like, times that I'm streaming. Because usually I stream, like, late at night, just because that's when I get free to do that. I'm considering sort of shifting that up a little bit, but I don't know what that's gonna do to my numbers. Yeah. Or like whether it matters at all or not. Yeah, I don't know. Anywho, I'm sure like it doesn't have to make heaps of difference, but just thought I'd ask. Is that still going? Okay, cool. So, anyways, though, back to over. If I can open the right Unity scene. So this be the this is gonna be the scene where we're making this new wandering cube thing. So the first thing I want to do, because like the thing that kind of matters for all of it, all of this to make sense and be good or whatever, is the sort of camera angle that's viewing everything. So we're gonna start with just. Maybe I'll kind of align sort of a camera in this. Oh, I see message. I'll look at in a second. Wow. Let me just first. I'm expecting this to be like static camera, kind of this sort of angle. Oh yeah, I can change. Right, I can sort of cheat. If I want to be able to kind of see wider, I can make this wider. Interesting. I typically stream early in the day, which is easier for people in Europe. Oh, especially, right, yes. So that's the other thing, right, that's the thing that, like, where I'm like, oh, does it really matter? Because time zones are a thing. Like, anyone's awake or asleep at, like, any time of the day, because time zones or whatever. So it's like, yeah, does it really matter that much? Yeah. Specifically the US audience is anywhere after 4 p.m. It's easier viewership because most people are done with work and school. Yeah, work and school do be a thing. So I imagine also during like the summer, that also like summer versus when school is in, and then also around like the holidays or whatever, I guess. But yeah, fair enough. Yeah, not that it like as I said, it doesn't matter that much. I don't need to micromanage my viewership to like that degree too much. It's just something I thought about, like, it doesn't matter, do I care, blah 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 blah. But yeah, so I'm probably going to do the thing that I said, where I might start to, stream slightly earlier, and then, Yeah, I mean, today, what is it? It's 10:39. I'm thinking I'm going to be going till, like, midnight or something. We'll see. But, yeah. So, okay. Yeah, okay, so this thing. So this is also a thing I always worry about whenever I have to plan something on stream. I went into this stream being like, this is going to be a planning stream where I am having to plan something. It requires me to actually be good at planning. The guy in my chat, Jorgen, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, he's in France, so I kind of call his schedule, lol. Or it's just a bonus. Ha! Yeah. I've had people coming in from, a lot of places, so that'd be cool, both close and far. I don't think I've had anyone from France, though. Have I? Am I forgetting anyone? It's possible. I mean, I've been streaming for a while, and went through a large period of, like, not streaming at all, so unfortunate, I may have forgotten about some early people. Although, like, I have had cases where people from, like, a year ago come in, and it's like, oh, hello, hi, welcome. But, yeah. Definitely me taking big breaks from streaming is not helping me grow or whatever, but if I can get back into being more consistent and just making cool stuff. I am aware that, like, what I'm physically doing on stream in terms of, like, what I'm physically programming is going to affect the quality of the stream. Like this, like, looking at, oh, it's a white background is one thing, but if I can eventually get to the point where, like, I'm back to working on Handyman with Unicycle, and rather than being this test area, it's like, oh, we actually have, like, a demo that's close to completion. Look at this super duper cool level with characters running around and, like, explosions and whatnot. That will be cool. But got a lot to do to sort of work towards that, both in, like, well, one, just developing this game, and, like, improving my own skill at mainly graphical stuff. It's something I need to get better at if I'm going to pull off a tenth of what I want to do with this game. Especially making, like, human characters. That's going to be a tricky challenge. I don't even know how much, it's hard to read like, how much work with stuff with this I do on stream versus off stream or whatever. It's like, ideally I do all the planning, like, off stream as I'm just, like, going about my day doing whatever, and then I come to the stream and be like, okay, here's the idea, let's go, and then I make the thing, and then it works. It works first try, no issues whatsoever. But yeah, because planning can be tricky. Or especially, yeah, if I'm like, I don't know what to do, blah 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 blah. But yeah. Anyway, I'm figuring it out. And then also, yeah, so as I said, most of my stream's gonna be making games and whatnot, and yeah, jumping between different projects as I do. Eventually, I want to make another tutorial, which I don't know when that's gonna happen. Like, in terms of my actual YouTube stuff, that's an eventually thing. Ideally, it's gonna be in the same kind of style as that swinging monitors thing I did for the first one, but, like, improved. Probably each one being better than the last or whatever. And then there'll be playing games and stuff in there as well. Like Lost in Random. We finished Lost in Random, but I gotta do one more stream to get them last few achievements, which, because of what those achievements are, does involve me having to start a new playthrough and get about halfway through the game to a specific story section and then do a thing for an achievement, which is fine because I can speed run it. And I have no idea what I'm going to do after Lost in Random, because Lost in Random was an easy pick because it was last time I was the streaming before I took a break, like half a year ago or whatever. I had started playing that game and then didn't finish it. It's like, oh, I gotta finish the thing that I started. Next, I have no idea. Do I go with the trendy things? Like, Spider-Man 2 just came out, except I haven't even played Spider-Man 1, so gotta, like, get not behind. Or gotta go with Fortnite, even though I've played, like, 2 games of Fortnite ever in my life. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, though, that's stuff for me to figure out, eventually. Play Outlast Trials? Ooh, yeah. So, well, we did do Outlast 1 on stream. I don't think I 100%'ed it. I gotta do that, of course. No, we did Outlast 1 on stream, like, was it last Halloween? Maybe? Something like that. It was either last Halloween or the Halloween before that. Crazy. Oh, we're almost at November. We're about to cross my, I guess, anniversary of starting streaming, which, like, unfortunately, like, yeah, I took a bunch of breaks, so, like, it hasn't been, like, continuously streaming for that long, but, you know, life gets in the way or whatever. We did Outlast 1 on stream. Outlast 2, I do own, and, like, yeah, play on stream at some point, and then Outlast Trials. Yeah, but I'm not good with horror games. Especially very, I don't know, particular kinds of horror games. Well, I mean, obviously, some horror games are scarier than others. That's not a crazy idea. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it can be on the list. But I'm part of me is like, I own so many Steam games that I've just like never played because it's a, Christmas or summer sale, get things that are cheap, whatever. I'll play them at some point. That there's like part of me that wants to just exclusively keep going through my Steam library, crossing more things off my checklist before I buy anything new. But yeah, it's like the last few things I've gone through and. But then also I have this weird thing where if I'm gonna play anything on stream, I'm like, I can't play. So like I've 100%ed like Psychonauts, for example, only fairly recently actually. And Psychonauts 2 is a game that I would like to play at some point. But I'm like, oh no, I can't stream a sequel before I've streamed playing the original. I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But that's not my like highest priority. My higher priority is the things I'm making and programming and whatnot. Gonna lurk for a while? Sure. Well, thanks for dropping by and chatting and all that, and yeah. Cool. Yeah. Oh, one last thing. I saw that you are doing the like Inktober thing, and like very, very cool. I think that's neat. As somebody who can't draw, yeah, drawing be cool and whatnot. Funny thing is I got a drawing tablet recently-ish that I haven't actually used that much, but it also requires me to be able to draw decent. Yeah. Woo! Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, anyways. What was I doing? Right, planning thing. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Can ramble all day. Gotta actually attempt to make things at some point. So, and even like, okay, how I'm going to plan this, what combination I'm doing stuff in Photoshop versus kind of prototyping things in Unity. Gotta figure it out. But basically, blah, am I just gonna, I can conceptualize stuff just in like, pen, just blah. Let me just get, hold on. Fill in white background, not important, blah, and then draw on top. Yeah, you're not that. Yeah. Okay, so conceptually, very like surface level, as I said. The idea is, let me get another color here. I imagine the cube being yellow. Not that matters that much. The colors can change, but have tiny yellow cube. Part of me wants to draw environment stuff first. Whatever. This isn't like how it's. This is first just conceptually being like, here's the idea. Pretend that's a cube. It's important that it's 3D. Nah. And then this. I can't draw this. I don't know. Whatever. This here is envy of people who can successfully draw anything. Nah. Yeah, this isn't working, but yeah, okay, I'm giving up on this prematurely. Let me just prototype in Unity. Can I? So the part of me wants to even like change the camera like resolution to be like, yeah, like 200 by I don't know, 200 here by 1920 here. Oh, that's interesting. But this isn't perfect because there's the chunk of like underneath chat that exists. So it has to be like a weird L shape, which of course doesn't work. So that's why I did have. Whoa, hold on. I'm undoing things I don't want to do. Oh, I can use this to, but no. But I could use this to like start planning it and then put it back to normal afterwards. But no, the camera will not work that way. So let's just go back to that. It's fine. So I do have though. Yeah, I guess I'll just bring back this thing I have. Was it this? You don't match. Hold on. Is there? do it through a canvas so I can have it be more exact. Blah, blah. Let me just real quick, just to, yeah, have better prototyping of things and having to be accurate to that. Just have a quick little blah, and then, no, have so I can actually have. So 1080 just minus 200. That's how tall you be, and then have you actually be this, and then blah. That didn't. Shouldn't this have? Oh right. Well, your anchor isn't gonna be there. Blah. This is what I want you to do. Yes. Good. And I mean the color. This doesn't matter. Let's make it black because why not? So this is the area that actually matters. Technically over here matters. No. Okay, I guess I will actually get it in. How wide are you? 354 pixels, apparently. 3, 5, 5, 4. And then it's actually gonna be that. Okay, so that's, for all intents and purposes, it matches. I'm not gonna put the box for my webcam, that, it's fine. Okay, so I gotta make this have enough detail that you can actually tell what's going on. So that's first. As I did say that, yeah, I can potentially cheat by having a wide sort of angle thing, but I don't know if that's something I want to do. I also don't know, yeah, in terms of the actual, like, perspective, I could have it be, you know, head on to whatever's going on. I can have it be looking down. I don't know how deep the actual environment should be. So, like, part of me wants to, like, start to design an environment first, but, like, if I design an environment and then the camera can't, like, view it good, then it all sort of falls apart. Like, that wall can be, like, barely seen. So maybe something like this, and then go down the wall, make bigger. This wall, I guess, just stretch it a little bit. That's fine. It doesn't. As soon as it's outside of the camera view, it doesn't matter what it looks like. I don't like how the actual lines. They aren't like scaling down well, but that's, you know, stuff that can be addressed later. Because again, I don't know if the lines are actually going to be a thing. So if I'm to put in placeholder for this little cube thing, because yeah, it is a thing that we're going to need. For now, it's just going to be some basic yellow and blah. Okay. There he be it. Oh, that. Okay, what? It's looking like that because of the camera lens. Yikes! That is not looking cube-like. So okay, might have to not do that. That's a cube. That's supposed to be a cube. No. I mean, if I really wanted to, like, work with it looking like exactly like this, I could sort of cheat. But I think I'd like to have it be sort of proper. I think this is probably part of what's making this weird is that it's like, you know, the wide angle camera, but also it's, you know, at the bottom of it rather than the cube being sort of like, you know, in the middle or whatever. So let's go back to like normal default Unity. It's like 60. Yeah, I guess that is probably going to look a little bit better. I also don't know, like, how much detail can I really have in this environment that we're going to make, cause, like, what you'll actually be able to see. That's the whole concern. But let's say we have something along those lines. It's really, like, there's not that much height I had to work with. I noticed this needs to be longer, so let me just 200 and say good. Yes, so cube. This be the wandering cube, but for all, I'll call this player because that's kind of the idea. It's like a cube that's going to wander around in the environment, which that step of programming that, I don't know how I'm going to do that in terms of like doing it very manually, just using like nav mesh stuff. I don't know. You are not flat against the ground. You need to be perfect 0.5. Yes, you do. So this on first glance, the cube looks so small. Do I make him... the idea is to maybe eventually swap this out with a person. So, like, I don't know if I want to work with... No, I want to work with a cube for now, and then if I turn it into a person, then it's taller than, like... Yeah, I like it just being a cube for right now. It looks... I'm trying to decide if it looks too small for right now. Just... like, because, so when it's in practice, when it's actually running below there, like, the smaller it is, the more, you know, in the distance or whatever, just the more it conceivably has to run around in. If I, you know, fill this area with random gaps and little slopes and whatever, which, again, don't know. I don't know what that's all going to look like, because, we'll see. As I go to plan this, like, the initial idea I have, how much it might completely change by the time that it's done. Oh, I duplicated the ground and then didn't do what I wanted to with it. This is like 200. Let's go 3, just to also just see what it kind of looks like if I just have blocks around. Bleh. Which, like, does it look fine to have... Come on. Come on. Block. And then also, right now I have this kind of, right now I have, yeah, floor going up to wall. Should the wall even be like that? Should this hypothetical wall go further back? I don't know. Should you be able to see, like, the front kind of, like, the grounds from the ending? A lot of questions that I don't have answer for, because I could take this in a lot of different directions, and watch me be indecisive for what exactly I do with this. But, yeah, just kind of conceptually being like, okay, how am I gonna do this? So, I don't, this feels small. I think, even, would I want it more flattened? Let me just, you know, try things. Even if I probably won't. Ooh. Interesting. Even if I'm like, oh, I probably won't go with this, I can just test trial ideas, because then I might stumble into something that I, you know, actually want to do. I like the, like, 3D-ness of it. I don't think I want to just flatten it. Make it orthographic or whatever. I could. It's an option. Cube looks so small. I don't want to... I could scale up the cube, but that's not... If this looks small, I think that's because the camera needs to move in. Oh. But, you know, the smaller it is, and the less space the cube actually has to hypothetically move around in. And then, yeah, again, it doesn't have a lot of height. The main thing of being strange with this is the lack of height. I could also, again, it's also an option that I can have the camera move as part of the thing. I could have... I could have the camera be quite close and big, and you can't see the whole environment. And then as the cube moves around, the camera moves around as he's traversing a big, wide environment. That's possible. I don't... Would that... I don't know if I want that. I don't know if the camera moving makes it too noisy. I could make 2 versions. That's a whole other thing that I could do is make multiple slight variations of this thing, swap out or whatever. Ideally, I get it right the first time and then don't have to do that. Okay, so yeah, this is like, yeah, indecisive. And then even like again, like the color schemes of stuff as well. Like, as I said, do I want to do an actual proper environment, or do I want to just stick with the grid? I think I might want to go for at least a different color scheme, like, as much as, like, yeah, go for, like, the white, lighter colors. I think I want to try to have something that has more color to it, or at least more going on with the lighting. I want, like, even the environment to look more visually interesting or whatever. So hopefully I can achieve such things. This looks cool. Something about how this, like... Something about how that does that. Looks cool. It's just so small. It's so little space to work with. But, yeah. Right. There's also the idea of, like the camera itself can tilt downwards. I could, yeah. But then I get even less high. Like if I want the cube to jump when it's like up back against here, I don't really get that to the same degree. But yeah, now that I had the idea of the camera like panning around, like it does potentially give me more. Or be able to have more environment work with. It doesn't. I'm also thinking that, like, so I kind of assume it'd be going up against this wall. Let me get rid of the wall for a second and just look at pure lore. That could also have any amount of sloping or whatever. Is it possible I could view this from like a top-down angle, the cube moving around, not jumping, just to purely like go here, go here, go here. But no, I think I want it more head-on because I want to be able to. Oh, geez, what happened? Wait, no. What? Oh, you're seeing the wall. I was like, what is that? Yeah, that's the wall. That would make sense. If I eventually swap this out for a person, it, you know, not being top down would be preferred. This is being trickier than I initially thought it would be to just get a decent camera. And it's again, yeah, so the sacrifice of, you know, how much can I see the thing? I think I want a bigger environment. So we'll try something like this. This. Where's the actual players? Move back that far. I don't love that, like, the further back it goes, I can't, like, have it necessarily jump and then it go off screen. I ideally want the cube to always be on screen. What if... Again, there's the idea of, like, I could make it more... I want jumping to be a part of it. I could make it more... the graphic. Wait, that's not... Can I put this down enough to see the cube? There it is. Oh boy. Have it be more... Well, again, flat against some little... The height is what's making this so difficult, but I'm not gonna, like, make it taller. That, like, defeats the purpose of a lot of what it is. I might have to maybe just alter the idea in general to look at what I want it to be. Or maybe I just like go with this as a starting point, start just programming it, just running around, see how that looks, and maybe at that point then I'll have a better idea for how I want the rest of it to be. I still have the I still have the block generator from the conveyor belts, and that's gonna start just throwing blocks in here. Yeah. Interesting. Cool, seeing stuff just kind of go to the environment. Yeah, to see like random things. That's the main thing I want out of this is like slow, idle randomness. Like the cube having different sort of objectives that it's going around to. Would be cool. don't know why I can't decide the camera angle. Do I lean down a lot? Maybe go like a perfect 45 or something? That's... Now, I said a moment ago, and I'll say it again, that I initially wanted more, be able to see the cube a bit more head on. What if it looked up? That's something I haven't tried. Any chance, oh, -20, that looking up and then placing the camera low. You're not really seeing... In theory, I'm sort of going to spawn weird, like, glowing, like, waypoint things on the ground, and the cube runs over to them. You're not really seeing the ground super well. -10? Yeah. Again. Tricky. Humming in the high. Okay. Yeah. How? Maybe I just start something like this. But so my worry is if I do what I just said, where I'm like, oh, I just start with something and then start designing an environment around it, then it becomes trickier to change later. It could be more work that then has to be undone if I then want to completely change the camera angle or whatever. Does just having the camera follow the cube solve the issues? It could at least move up and down. Maybe it doesn't move left and right. But if it jumps or something, yeah, it could be something. Tricky. I don't know why it's being so hard to just get this to be at just an angle. That just seems like a good enough starting point. Even this, the cube being so close to like the bottom as a default isn't exactly nice. But then even that, it's like now you're already hugging the top. It's like no room to move. I guess I solved that by just zooming out. That is the direction I want to go with that. Okay, hold on. Let me try this as it currently looks with pulling this forward so that I can just barely see the edge. Like that. And then pull back in that wall, which I can, adjust things better. Hold on. If you just looked like that, then yeah, okay, well, maybe. This, yeah, is kind of like a decent amount of environment to sort of run around. Okay, hold on. Maybe I've stumbled into it now. Do a little bit more tweaking, but then I might go right back to how it just looks a second ago. I want to tilt the camera even more up. Whatever environment I make, the idea of it having like 2 floors could be interesting. Having what's going on up here and then like a second level and it goes up and down between them. But yeah, the more complicated the environment, I mean, in theory, wanting to make a character that can traverse on its own. Cause the idea is I'm trying to sort of emulate like a 3D platformer character, but it's moving around on its own. So I gotta have it like actually do whatever it needs to do. So for like first draft of this idea, I think I am gonna. It's just gonna move around on flat ground, and then once that's working, then maybe like, slopes can be a thing, and then maybe jumping or whatever. I do like this though. Interesting. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. So now at this angle, did I want to change the camera lens? That's wider, but then yeah, it gets really distorted in a way I don't like. Okay, so this same angle, but narrower. Go between all the options. This with the -10. Pull back, I guess. Like that makes it feel more flat, which is kind of we have to make something more isometric. But no, I don't think that's better. I think it was better before. Back up all the way to here. I think I like seeing more of the ground. Or do I? Or do I? This is with the 60. I think this is decent enough. Whether I change this to being like the 20 or the 10, I think that might be easier to see actually when actually implementing cube movement. Put that kind of more in the middle. So I said that I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna try going back to just the 10. Yeah, I do think I want to see more of the ground for now, especially with if there's not gonna be any actual verticality yet. Seeing more of the ground can be good. When there's more verticality, if I have that, then I can do with that. Okay, and then yeah, the distance I think is fine. I can work with it. Okay. So colors. I do have. Not you. I'm gonna make a whole separate, just to not mess with any of the other scenes. Just gonna call this what? Wandering cube, and this is gonna be all the materials relating to just this. So it's gonna start with just a new grid material, just temporarily. Where is this? I mean, I can in the same. If I want to pull from just some of the previous stuff, it could look like this, where it looks almost like a blueprint. That's an idea, although it might look different than that. Let me, because I have that, these being used in a different scene. If I'm going to tweak colors, I want to have the copied material. Ground testing, yeah, okay. That's an option. It because it's like custom way that I have this texture stuff. Yeah, it doesn't go down that well, which wasn't as much of a problem in the conveyor scene because it, I don't know, it was more zoomed in, I guess. I might need to do some Googling, figure out how to get this to happen less. I mean, I could try. I have a few textures. Take that and then what? Put the tiling up? Well, then you can kind of go back to the same problem. Interesting. This like it gives a weird sense of scale for like how big or small the cube feels. When it's like this, the cube feels tiny. I do this, the cube feels bigger. It's interesting how that works. So that doesn't. I don't think that really solves my issue. I can go checkerboard. I don't think this is what I want. I'm going Christmas colors now, but no, I don't think so. Right now I'm going between just the things that I've happened to make. I could also, oh, so the reflection probes, okay. Go between the different grid things that I've happened to make. There are, I could make more. Oh, that's interesting, but it's cool. Obviously, I'm not going with this, but I didn't know what this would do. Oh, what the heck? Oh, that's so cool. Why does that do that? I have no idea. I don't have an answer. But it's neat. It's me. That'd be my logo. And then it could even, if I really wanted to, have it be different. I don't know. Yeah, that's something. Oh, I'm just messing with it. It's cool. Yeah. Anyways, enough of that. Back to business at hand. Maybe this is the dotted one that I have here. Yeah, it's like up close. This looks fine. Having it match the dimensions of the cube would be good. But you can't see it that zoomed out. It doesn't. Yeah, this doesn't mip-mat well, and that's more an issue with my shader graph thing. To be able to have this happen, I think. I'm curious though, just as a test, if I just to see if I go put this back to being like a normal shader thing, whatever, and then just put in as a map like one of these. Oh right, you're not gonna get you're not gonna get the colors, but let's just, you know, throw something in like a whatever, and then I just want to see what the tiling kind of does. Does this tile better? Not if I have numbers wrong. It kind of does. So I gotta just that can be another thing to sort of figure out eventually. Why? No, and eventually, I mean, you can still see it better than I could see the other one. And at this point, you wouldn't see the other one at all. If I put this to like 5, this is just as an example. We're not keeping this as is. I mean, it shows up here, fine. Although it's not, oh, not square. There it is. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're like, again, yeah, seeing kind of a grid, even though it's not a great. What if I put in? Let me just for funsies put in this. Then you're real not seeing something like that. Yeah, see, even that, like with, yeah, see, like this shows up fine. I don't know why the other one doesn't when it's kind of meant to do the same thing. It's just so I could have like this when you move around, it doesn't move. I had the other one set up so that, like, as you saw, I could move it around and it like projected itself properly or whatever. Yeah, where is? So yeah, that's just weird material issue, but see if I can just kind of cheat it enough for now. If I don't know if I inverted one of these, better. It doesn't like the dashes. Interesting. Not orange. I don't know. Colors. All the way back to gray. I think I want something that has color, but it doesn't have to be that. This, like, it could be more like, oh, it's some old warehouse thing. No. Hard wants to go bright and vibrant. Let me just trim this down even more. Oh. Yeah. Unsure. I'm gonna go back to my custom thing for a minute. This one? Possibly not. Maybe it was just this with different colors. It'd be easier if I Control Z all the way back to sanity. How far back? Wait, oh, I went too far. I went too far. I went too far. No. Yeah, there's at least on the material. I can work from here. This back to like here, and then not you. Tile this. Just the point where I start to lose it, I guess. whatever. So like that 0.5, but then I'll fix it later. So in terms of the actual colors, I don't know, they have yellow, but then the cube being something else. Let me take one of just any of these, doesn't really matter. Put over here. This is one of the things I have on the little like crates that are below in the current one. Call this player. Put on you. There you go. Again, still don't quite love how environment stuff is going. Again, do I just go gray like factory, or what? Or I mean, like this doesn't have to have this grid thing. It could be like, oh, it's a, you know, anything that's real, some kind of actual environment. I don't know, of whatever different style I wish to make. I don't know. I think I want to go back to at least the player. I don't know. I think I want the player yellow. Could have the player have like white lines so they kind of stand out more. No. I take that back. I don't think there's any color that will really do it good. No, whatever, fine. Okay, so this is a thing that exists. Oh yeah, oh that does look worse when it's white. Until I potentially get it to, yeah, it's like kind of tile better. It can all happen eventually. I have no idea what I'm doing with these colors, but whatever. Let's just go like... Whatever, it's fine. Just give it to work. Well, okay, so there's to some degree where the functionality of it's more important, but then there's to some degree where the entire point of this is to be something that visually looks good, while also having cool programming involved, so the graphics matter quite a bit for this. Okay, that's a start. That's a something. Now what? If I'm to start with this as like a base point, these random blocks are like, oh, place it or whatever. Yeah, and we're ignoring, kind of ignoring up here. That shouldn't do this. This is because of a reflection probe doing stuff. Oh, before I go any further, yeah, post-processing. Woo, not you. Not click the same wrong thing twice. Gotta have bloom, the best thing for a game to have. I mean, depending on how stuff looks, a little bit of bloom could potentially be something we want, but whatever, I don't know. I don't even, I'm not gonna do a whole lot with this right now, but like, we have the option to, wow. I don't know what yeah, I want this to be more brightly or whatever. I mean, you should have better lighting in terms of, more like, you know, shadows and whatnot, but whatever, it's okay. So have this to modify later, but I guess we won't be messing with it right this second. In terms of the actual lighting, like, oh, do I want everything under light? Whatever, funky lights. Ooh, it's looking like it's all night. But again, probably things I don't quite want to mess with right now. Here's the light be slightly more, whatever. Anywho, this light, I don't actually know. Oh, this is just gonna be kind of affecting the nope. Nope. Might turn that off right now. Okay. So what now? Where do I go from here? I might temporarily turn off these blocks because just the sort of base level prototype of this. First, let me just fix you. Yeah. As like the service level. Oh yeah, you have metallic thing. That is affecting how you look at it. Okay. At the start of what I like, just to get this programming-y wise to work, I guess this should, yeah, get the cube to just move around just in this sort of environment. Now that if I'm to pretend this is going to be kind of the camera angle I'm going with, I should define, I don't want the cube to move off screen or whatever, so I'm going to now pull back in these ground wall stuff and actually kind of have it better match what we currently got going on. And I can, yeah, cheat it to a degree. Let me just put that down here for a sec, just so I can roughly, like, get it to be close enough. Slightly longer than it needs to be, just because that matters more. Okay, a little more. Something like that. Cool. I might. I want to just set up little walls on the other side, just to like make sure that I know. One, it introduces new shadow just for stuff, but also just make sure that I know that like the camera kind of stops here. Don't go further. You're in this environment, and yeah. You though can be a whole lot smaller. Oh right, the height of this. I guess you can be a little bit below the floor in case we adjust the camera that you can see below this a little bit. And then this, how high do you need to be? Like that high? Okay, that is quite tall. Okay, okay, that is a something. And then make this negative. Actually, it probably won't perfectly line up. Oh no. So that's to be symmetrical. I don't have to, but I'd like the ground to be symmetrical. So get over there, you. Does that go through that? Oh no, it slightly does. Come on. No. Yo. Select the things I wish to select, please. Okay. Good enough for the prototype. So, where do we go from here? Next step is... Wait, the cube move around this much? That's... Okay, that's a lot... He's a lot wider than I initially thought. Wait. Oh, right, I did make you go a lot more off screen than you might need to. Because the... Yeah, this is going up. So technically it's actually here and here. Just to make sure I know and don't forget later, I will place little blocks just to that and make it bigger. A bigger barricade. I might as well just kind of the length of how far the platform's going out. The urge to like all these platforms I'm placing to go back in and like put exact numbers, but I'll hold off on that. How far can you be? So, oh right, again, what's actually off screen is different, but like, I guess I'll do you here. So, yeah, okay. It doesn't need to be exact. It's just kind of a mental like, don't go that much past that. Okay, so in theory. So moving this cube, if I wanted to sort of navigate an environment, do I go the nav mesh route or do I go the meticulous random route? For simple, like, it's a flat ground or whatever, nav mesh is probably the way to go. The more complicated I get with the environment, then it might not quite work. Also, I noticed that the cube has a shadow sort of coming I guess technically I don't want these two things to cast shadows. They're more markers. Sure. I guess I go the nav mesh route until nav mesh doesn't work. Until I'm like, okay, I guess I need a new way to solve whatever problem, and then that might involve how to then remake a bunch of stuff, but we'll see. Okay, so are we gonna start? Let's see, it's 11. I am very tired because I slept so little last night to finish the game jam, so I wasn't expecting today to be a super long stream. Fine, we didn't, like, this was, the initial idea was that today would be just planning this thing, and then tomorrow starting to actually make it. We sort of started the making it step. Let me just clean up some things here. Yeah. And we can start with, like, so maybe before I go any further, what maybe would be a good, oh, wrong things, no, you're gonna overwrite things I don't want you to overwrite. No, hopefully they didn't mess with anything, hopefully I cancel it soon enough. I should just see if I were to put this in its current form, replacing what's currently going on underneath. Oh, Architect Ent Cube indeed. Hello, welcome to the stream. We are making a thing. Let me just, what's it called? Wandering Cube. So I have a little, animation that goes on below my stream because it's cool. Making sort of a new one that has more, eventually hopefully have more cool, neat programming stuff. I'm gonna have to close this one to be able to see the other one go. Is it gonna, oh, the block spawner is still on. Ignore that. I just wanted to see as an example, like, okay, how much space does that take up? Does it, like, seemingly look fine? I think so. And then having it run around, hopefully be cool. Yeah, let me go back to the other one. Hey, let's switch things out just for funsies. Put the, what? No, why would you do that? Put the growing circles one. Okay, so, like, dimensions-wise, it seems like kind of fine enough. The thing I didn't account for was that I didn't set this canvas to scale screen size. Based on 1920. 1920 by 1080. Yeah. Haha. Yeah, so that'd be a thing. Okay. Go to the thing. Cool. More things. Yeah. So that's it's a start. So yeah, as I said, the next thing that we might start to do is, figuring out how to get this thing to navigate around. Now, I have used nav mesh stuff a decent amount in the past. I haven't done anything with nav mesh agents in quite a while, so hopefully we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna make a new folder because I have all of these animations all in the same Unity project because the idea was to have it like switch between them sometimes. Such functionality does not exist yet. Wandering cubes, and here we're gonna go. We'll go wandering cube player or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, but also, welcome to the stream, Architect Int. I do Unity stuff. Right now we're making a special, like, below the stream animation-y thing. That growing circle one was also made in Unity, made in this. The sort of normal content that I'm hoping to get back to making eventually this is a game that I'm working on called The Handyman with a Unicycle. It used to be in a more developed state, like there's a lot more, features and functions and stuff that used to be functional, but recently, and like the player had an actual kind of placeholder model and blah, blah, blah. But recently I've I've kind of stripped the player down and sort of rebuilding all the movement code from the ground up to sort of come out the other side of it with a much better controlling player, which, like, this new player is still very much a work in progress, and doesn't have all the features that the old one did, which the old player does still exist in, like, other scenes and whatnot, although it's kind of broken, unfortunately. But yeah, so this is the Handyman with a Unicycle. The idea is you're a guy on a unicycle, you're ride around, momentum and whatnot. If you're going fast enough, you do straight up go up walls and whatnot, although there'll be more, like, gravity involved. If I stop moving, I'd fall off, would be the idea. And just everything to make this more, like, smooth and, like, less buggy. Like, that's all to come. This is still very much a work in progress. But yeah, so you're a guy at a carnival. You repair circus rides before they break. And then lots of hazards that you're sort of going between as you're going from point A to point B. And yeah, that be the gist of it. Woohoo! Yeah. I don't think, unfortunately, I believe that some of the other stuff I have in these other scenes kind of broke while I was doing all this player stuff, but here's some... This is going to be our first proper level as part of like a demo. That's going to be... I want to make sort of a demo of this game and then make the real thing, which, yeah. A big to-do list that I'm slowly going to eventually sort of get to and cross things off one by one. We have a hub world where you go between the different levels. That's a whole thing. I don't think I can go into play mode in these because with the player all broken, yeah, it's not going to be happy with it. This is a test environment when we were building some more like non-player mechanics. We got hazards that actually are flickering even like outside of play mode, which is cool. We got cannons. We got power-ups that I might be getting rid of these power-ups. That's to be decided. Got tight ropes, which also have to be all remade with the new player code. These are placeholders for like the rides, like, you know, just different circus rides they'd be breaking that you have to fix, and there's like different rules for different ones, kind of have different stuff for how you fix them. Well, that's more on like a level by level basis. We got cannons, flamethrowers, moving platforms, all the this being like standard sort of 3D platformer stuff, except you can't jump, and that's on purpose because I want to, if you're having to get somewhere, you like, you know, go down a ramp, launch off it, get speed, use the whole like going up walls thing, doing a lot of that to get around. Yeah, and hopefully it will be cool as it starts to flesh out more. But yeah, currently what I'm doing is, do I have the, I mean, I have the old player as they looked over here, but I don't think I can go into play mode and have this guy actually work. Let's find out. Did he just launch away? Oh no, oh, there he is, kind of. Come back here. I know I'm faster than you now because I upped the movement speed. Oh, you don't, yeah, he's not turning. But yeah, and see, this guy leans. Eventually this leaning will also be back on the main new player. It's just I stripped down like just to the pure like colliders while I was rebuilding this stuff just to, yeah, better visualize like the physics and whatnot. Oh, ooh, why is... Oh, something, having that other player, I think having that other camera pivot active. Oh god, there's something that's, I'm not moving the way that I should be moving. But it's just, yeah, that's old player code competing with new player code. It's like, now it's fine. Right, it'll continue to be fine, hopefully, yeah. Yeah, so it's, unfortunately, the game's very, yeah, broken at the moment, but I'm working towards getting it unbroken. But yeah, so that, eventually my streams are going to be 90% working on this, but have some other things I am doing first, like making this wandering cube thing for funsies, while I'm continuing to do some of that camera and the player code sort of behind, getting sort of the hardest parts of it done sort of behind the scenes. Yeah, so that's that beast things that I be working on. I did recently also do this. This is a game jam thing that I made. I've already gone through this a few times in the stream, but yeah, for a game jam where the theme was growth, we have like, you're an alien live streamer trying to grow, get more followers, that somehow fuels your ship so that you can leave. And then there's different like trend objects that you, yeah, have to, like trend things come up, and then you're going around and sucking up things with your tractor beam to get points based on like the stuff at the top. And yeah, it is cool. Anyways, yes, that's different things that I do that will be happening in the coming streams. Anyway, so where we are with this, we basically just started this. Wow, we started this an hour and 36 minutes ago. I've been going on that long. For once, I actually, normally I look at the time and I'm like, oh, what? It's been like 5 hours? Where did that happen? This time it actually was not as long as I thought. Although, I'm running on very little sleep, so I'm very, very tired. So, probably not going to be a super long stream today. But, we've started the planning of this thing I'm doing. Yeah, so now to start to get it to actually move around. Nav mesh things. I do have you marked as. I know. Yeah. First thing I have to do is mark you as navigation static. How do I? Okay, I've made nav mesh stuff like years ago. Haven't done it in a while. Just a lot of getting stuff to move around. I'll like do very manually, but this seems like definitely the case to do that. I know. I think on the player you'd add like a nav. Well, first a rigid body because that's going to be a thing that you're going to need. The player code that doesn't. I only just started. Like it's empty text, empty code file that doesn't. Yeah, properly exist yet. But it'll get there. Like nav wise. I believe your nav mesh wacky things in a good way. Thank you. Take that compliment. Yeah, making a lot of lots of different things that slowly developing. Is nav mesh now like an actual package thing I have to install separately, possibly? I think I vaguely remember that might be a thing. Uh-oh. Yeah, AI navigation. Install. Yeah, okay. So it's not there by default anymore. Don't know why. Just because. Yeah. Okay. That didn't take long. Good. So now I should go nav. Yeah, there's the things I recognize. Oh yeah. Object links. Yeah, nav mesh link. I know that's a way to kind of do jumping, but it's like it might work for our purposes. We'll see. We'll see. We are this being a nav mesh agent. I know there's a bunch of things I gotta like set up for that. Blah. So I guess so the idea is right now this is a cube. Eventually in the long term I'd like to replace this with an actual like human character running around. But for now it's a cube, so I'm gonna get I'll leave the name being humanoid. But I'll make it more cube sized. Those are probably fine. Yeah, also probably fine. Okay. I have to actually, where do I actually, I don't remember off the top of my head how to actually bake a nav mesh out of all the static stuff, but I'm assuming it's some window that's around somewhere. Forgive my, just not remembering how to do things that I haven't done in Unity when was the last time I did a proper nav mesh? Probably my Ultra Tag game that I did as like a school project, nav mesh surface. Is that, wait, did they change that? Do you have to actually, I thought it was just anything that was marked static, just, also, this block generator, let me get rid of that. I meant to do that before. Basically, the only thing that really needs it is this ground, but, nav mesh surface? Interesting. Bake. Am I crazy that that's... Oh, wait. Oh, it also did it on that. Oh, I thought that this was like, do it on a per object thing. Interesting. Okay, it's different than I thought. Oh, interesting. Okay, I see. So that is not something I should be attaching to the ground. It should be its own separate nav mesh. Maybe the name's different. I don't know. Wow. Last time I did a nav mesh was probably, like 2 years ago? Something along those lines. Even though I've made, like, players and enemies since, I've just usually done it, like, very manually. It is interesting that I can, like, bake a thing and then move it. That fascinates me. Okay, yeah, you're good. Can't actually go up there, but it's fine. Technically, I can mark it as an obstacle or whatever. I'm not going to bother right now. This is just, like, quick prototype, get the thing working, and then go from there. Yeah, walkable, not walkable. Default area. Oh, yeah. Advanced. What advanced options do I have? Well, alright, I can adjust, like, how much things, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, different agents, type, based on... Yeah, okay, this is all coming back. All stuff that I vaguely remember existing. A lot of default stuff is gonna work for this. Especially while it's just a cube, there's not... Oh, hey! Thanks for the follow! Thank you! Oh, is it looping endlessly, or is it actually... There we go. Okay, but for a second I thought it was broken. So funny thing, a week ago I discovered that my alerts were actually broken, and just weren't playing at all, and had been for months until that point. So congratulations, you're the first. You just tested the fact that I did fix it properly. Huzzah! I have no idea how loud that was, or if it actually played a sound at all, but yeah, fair enough. I would right now. Those are all like the default, a lot of the default alert stuff. Another thing I'd like to do is improve a lot of that over the next like little bit. Kind of what I want to be working on is just improving a whole bunch of little things with my stream. Right now, starting with a little background animation, like a better one that's more the vision that I kind of wanted for those little background animations when I first got the idea of doing it. Yeah, potentially making stuff like alerts or like the little channel point icons, stuff like that better. I want to remake my profile picture, like same concept but like executed slightly differently. I do YouTube stuff and I have like an intro and outro, potentially making new ones of those and whatnot. I have a big old to-do list of things I want to make as I find time to, and slowly one by one I'll be getting them done. But that all starts with this, where we currently are in it. Anyways, Navmesh did that. This. You're on you, and then to code. One thing that's unfortunate when coding for a stream is that normally I'd have, I have multiple monitors. I'd have, game and then code, but I want to actually have you guys can see what's going on. Although I guess temporarily I can put that over there. I mean, I could set up like a better like. If I really need to be showing two screens at once for different things, I could set up a different thing in OBS to actually be showing both of them, but then that gets messy. Anyways, player. So I know this. I imagine that the fact that it's imported as a package, I'm gonna guess that it's like I'm assuming that maybe I'm wrong. Just Navmesh. Okay, you're just there. You need to the AI. Okay, fine, fair enough. Got there in the end. Navmesh is gonna be. So I want the Navmesh agent that is us. I imagine I'm also gonna, well, not public, private. Get the reference as you do. I'm also gonna want the rigid body, which I actually forget off the top of my head how the Navmesh works with the rigid body. No, no, I'm wrong. I did Navmesh. I said I was like, oh, I did like Navmesh stuff like a couple years ago. No, over the summer I did a small thing where I made a quick like Navmesh thing. So I'm wrong in that. I have done this more recently, but haven't done it in long enough that I've like forgotten all. And yeah, I can Google stuff in a second, but when I get completely lost, for now I'll keep poking around and I'll figure it out enough. So with rigid body stuff, rigid body, add force and then whatever direction. Normally, when I make players, you get input, map it to the camera, and you're golden. Navmesh stuff, slightly different. So I need an actual fake place to move to. Let's temporarily be like, have another cube that I'm gonna call, I don't know, follow cube or something. Just say, you try to go to the position of wherever this cube is. You're just gonna like bump into it, but it works fine as like a temporary thing. Okay, so you don't, this is just to get the position, so I don't need anything from this other than just the position of it. So, and this is just a temporary testing thing anyway, so we're just gonna go public transform follow cube or whatever. So that's public. Yeah, so assuming I'll drag and drop it now before I forget, because otherwise I'm gonna be like, oh, why isn't the code working? I do that too many times of why are you not? Did I not save? I did not. Jumping between things too quickly. Also not going back to the correct Unity projects. Also, I do not have to, but for funsies, I realized it's Halloween. I should be having it's not Halloween yet, but it's about to be. It's the Halloween season. So swap that out for the same growing circles one that I made. That is the Halloween colors. For funsies. Okay. Cube. And player, dragon, cube, and then blah, and then okay. So I imagine agent dot set Set path. That's... Oh, right, I can generate a path and put it in, but there's a more manual. Funsies? Yeah, exactly. That's... Like, most of the stuff that I'm making is just because it's cool. So I know conceivably the sort of function I'm looking for. There's like a set destination? Yeah, and then we're just gonna go follow cube dot position. So I'm doing this every frame, but I guess, yeah, that's fine here. In the so-called real thing, I won't need to set it every frame. It'll be, here, pick a point, go there, pick another point, go there, pick another point, go there, is the idea. Okay, but for now, yeah, it's working. So I didn't need the rigid body. Or am I Why did I think there was a way to, like, combine rigid body and nav mesh stuff? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. And yeah, okay, cool. We got that. It do be working. Okay, cool. So that's a start. So now I expected that to take longer, but cool. So that was temporary, so I don't actually want that follow cube. So in theory, I now want to just, like, I guess just generate a random point between blah and blah, and then when you get there, generate a new one. For now. When the environment gets more complicated, that won't suffice, because I need to make sure I generate a point that's, like, actually on the thing. Although I can, like, generate a point and then, like, raycast downwards, maybe, or something. Find the floor. If only the cube forwardly rolls instead of slide. Oh, that'd be cool. That would be cool to have it, like, yeah, just move around more interesting. Yeah. The idea is eventually to swap this out with a person, and then that'll probably just be generic, like, running animation. Although it would be cool if it had more to it. But yeah, we could really have more fun with the cube. It'd be cool if it, like, another cool idea would be if it, like, leapfrogged around a bit. I don't know. Have it kind of be like a hop animation or something, but yeah. It would be, in general, like, even while we're still in it being a cube, giving more life to the cube would be good. But I think first, gotta get the programming in there, and then fumble my way into figuring out what kind of, making it visually looking better, what that's gonna look like. Okay, so we're gonna say generate a random point, private, just vector 3, active destination, whatever. It's a name, it's fine. And then, like, have some functions, like void, generate new destination, blah. Whatever, it's fine. And then, so blah is gonna equal, for now, because can cheat and just know that the ground is flat, I'm just gonna go, actually, so I was about to say, oh, generate a random position. I want to just see, is there any chance that there could be some kind of built-in Unity thing that's like, Unity, generate random point on a nav mesh? If that can be something that's, like, easy enough. Sample position. Oh, right. That's a thing where you can, like, what? Here's a position, what's the closest nav mesh point to it? That be close to what I want. I haven't seen much of Visual Studio in such a legacy theme since... Yeah, I use light mode. That do be a thing that I do. I mean, this is still Visual Studio, like, 2022 or something like that, possibly? Yeah. It works. I'm seeing... So, okay. I'm seeing options of, like, generating, like, random inside unit sphere, have that be big, and then sample position based on that. My issue with that is that because I know that, like, this environment can be most like, it doesn't go in all the directions. If I'm generating a random position that could be, like, out here, and then it gets just put into here, that then means that it'll be very common for it to generate points, like, out here that's just gonna be on the edges, and I don't necessarily want that. I'd prefer if it, like, more uniform. So for now, I'll figure a more robust solution later, but for now, I'm just gonna cheat and just be like, yeah, random number between blah and blah. Because also, I don't want it to pick up here, and, well, I can do more to eventually make it, like, I know that I can do stuff to have, you know, this not actually be part of the nav cache, but that will come eventually. So for now, we're just gonna go new vector 3, which the x is gonna be random.range between, I want to say it was like negative, what, 60 or something? Not even close. So around roughly here is, let's go like about here is negative 45. Let's try that. Negative 45f, 45f. And then y being 0, z being random.range between, we'll say like, here-ish being like, what, that's, right, 11 and 4, because you're not, I should pull all that back so that it's like, the here should be kind of the 0, 0 of the world, but whatever, for now, okay, give me that. I should probably do this sample position anyways. At least I'll check. Well, it should be perfect. It should be fine. Hopefully. To do that, and then what? Active agent destination equals this equal. I guess I got rid of the follow cubes. Let me just do this before I forget to entirely. Blah. That works. Sure. So then do this on start. I guess we go into play mode. Let's just, see if it works the first time, and then I gotta make it like continue to do that. Hey, oh, was it actually? It was visualizing the destination. That's cool. That makes my job easier to be able to see that it did stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, so when it gets to a place, then generate a new one. Do I want it to generate immediately, or should it, like, sit at the place and then move? Oh, also, I know that I can configure, like, speeds and whatnot, even, like, how fast it breaks or whatever. We'll get there at some point. For now, just the fact that it moves anywhere around at all, like, that's yeah. A lot of things to be done, especially just for the sake of polish or whatever. I'm gonna be uber confident that the agent will exist. I do not need to. A lot of polish to come. A lot of like steps. We'll get through them one by one. Okay, so if what am I doing? Agent. I am getting too tired to think. I just want to see the distance, like, has it reached this thing? So I was about to manually go. I can manually go like vector 3 distance, blah and blah. Is there a yes, like built-in things? Cool. I will have just to like make sure that this works. Have some grace period stuff. If it's less than 0.1, if it's like close enough, then for now we'll just go generate new generation. Or generate new destination. If I really want it, I can put in. I keep going to the wrong scene. I am fine with. Yeah, I've showed that enough, so I'll just close it for now. So I stop going through it. So let's just see. Does this work? Getting there. Getting there. Getting closer. Hey, yeah. Woo. There he goes. Yeah, it is quite empty, but the idea is eventually, the environment being more than just a flat ground. One. Two, it'd be cool if there's more like, visual moving stuff around. It'd be cool if this thing was like sophisticated enough, like, here's a moving platform going back and forth. Step on the platform, wait for it to move, and then like get off and like, do that well. Would conceivably be cool. Can you have? So first thing, I'm just curious of. I believe this is meant to be stacked. If I move this mid-game, it doesn't. I expected this not to work. Interesting. It probably is messing with the thing. Interesting. Can I have this one nav mesh that's like the normal static ground, have an individual nav mesh surface on a moving platform that moves back and forth, and then like have them work together? Is that a thing I can do? Something I can experiment with, something I can try. Because I assumed that like, oh, if I get to the step of like wanting this player to do extra complicated things, then eventually I'll reach a point where nav mesh doesn't work, and then I'll have to rebuild all the movement stuff from scratch. But nav mesh is more sophisticated than I thought. I think it's like improved in the last couple of years. I know I've used it like years ago, and I don't think it could do all this stuff. But maybe I'm mistaken. I could be totally wrong. I don't know. It would be extra cool if like, because ideally, like I would like this character to feel like it's a 3D platformer character, as if a human player is like controlling them, running around this environment, just going to random positions just because. And make like it's like, oh, there's like, you know, coins or, you know, whatever, like looking like collectibles and running around and picking up as they spawn around. But then, you know, it's in behind the scenes, so having it pretend like it's like a 3D platformer character running around, but then it's actually, you know, just being controlled by an AI. But it'd be cool if it sort of had that feel of like that, which we'll see how far I can get with that with the nav mesh stuff. One thing I can potentially do is if as the player I'm like, oh, I want to go to this point, but there's something in the way, I don't have to just set the destination to that point. The programmer can be like, oh, it would be more optimal to go like here and then here and then here, like figure out a path, so then actually set the destination on the cube, be like, go here and there and then whatever. Like if I had like a ladder, this wouldn't work for the cube probably, but like if I have a more human-y character, if I had like, here's a ladder that you can climb conceivably, you have to like go up. If it was a real thing, you'd like go up to it, interact with it, climb the ladder, and then you're at the top. But then trying to have a nav mesh work with that. If I'm like, oh, basically if like we're trying to go from here to there and the ladder's close, then like set the destination to the base of the ladder, we enter some trigger like, oh, it's the ladder, hijack the movement code, do the ladder animation, and then sort of reactivate the movement code. So it does feel like there's options. It wouldn't be easy, but it does seem like there could be options to do that kind of stuff. Although, again, we don't have a lot of room to work with, which makes this tricky to have. If I want to have all these details and moving platforms and ladders and like whatever, gotta make sure such things can actually fit and be seen. Are you gonna move off screen? No. And then above all, make it look good. I can, now that I at least have this thing moving around, I can conceivably test of just like changing the camera stuff again. You know, being closer to the cube is cool for like more detail, but the closer I am, the less environment I get to have. The further back I am, the more variety of stuff I can potentially have. But again, then there's also the idea that I said that like maybe the camera itself could move, even if it's only like left to. Where are you not moving? Only like left to right as the player like hits the edges of the screen, or like only up and down as it goes through like stuff. But like for now, I kind of wanted to keep it simple and just let the camera be static, stationary, whatever. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so but for now though, this is like good first start. Yeah. Cool. Let me up the speed. Well, but then, again, because this is supposed to be like, oh, while I'm doing whatever I'm doing in the stream, this is like small, like idle background thing. It shouldn't be too like bombastic explosions everywhere, crazy. I want it to look good, but it shouldn't always be too distracting. And maybe I can make two versions of this when I'm doing stuff like right now, where I'm literally like just not doing anything and just rambling, and have a version that's has more stuff going on. But then if I'm like playing a game, then having more that's like having another version that's like slower or something. I don't know. Yeah, stuff I can mess around with. Still definitely far from like the visual quality that I would like to have, but yeah, I don't know. Lighting and graphical stuff is gonna be difficult. Not my strongest suit, but yeah, hopefully I can figure out stuff, get it as I want. Now, in terms of while I'm looking at this though, in terms of getting it to move around and feel more like a 3D platform kind of thing, it like moves and turns like that. I feel like you should be kind of moving in your kind of the way that you're facing and kind of do a more of a around if you want to, or turn faster. Maybe just turning faster would. It's like angular speed. Don't have a whole lot that I can do about that. I see angular speed, but like, well, let me just see what happens. I make that low. That's not a turn speed though. Or sorry, it's a turn speed, but it's not like he's still moving in whatever direction, just not turning fast to like get there. If I turned it up really high, I guess that's better. I don't know. More stuff I can address at a later point in time. But anyways, I think it is about midnight. I believe I am out of time for today, but we did more getting this functional in this stream than I initially thought that we would, so that's cool. I want to, I guess as a trial thing before I go, I want to just put this. I want to see this with the cube actually moving in the underneath thing. Not there. So I will, in a second, close this. The other one's launching. Yeah. Oh, okay, that actually hooked itself up fast. Yeah, that's a thing. Again, it's very simple. It doesn't have a lot going on right now, but the idea is that eventually it will. Which again, I gotta figure out how I'm actually gonna get there, because it's a hugely different story of like saying I want something and then actually figuring out the nitty gritty of how I'm gonna get it all to work. But it's a start. I could also, if this is working as it is, I could have 2 characters that are running around or whatever. That's possible. But, yeah. I still also, even the colors, I don't, like, they still need work. But, I don't know the sort of art direction that I want to go with this. If I want to keep it like, oh, it's like a prototype Unity level, so it's all just grids and stuff. Or, making an actual level environment. Oh, he went off screen slightly, but that's okay. I also might have, get to a point and sit there and wait for like, oh, one to spawn and it has some graphical thing, and then, yeah. We'll see. Oh, he went completely off screen. Okay, but it's, it's something. It's a start. I'm gonna temporarily just put this to like 40, so you're less likely to do that. Yeah. Cool. But anyways, I think that we are, out of time for today, so I'm gonna call it here. But you can using transform.forward to move and relying on turning from the nav mesh agent, some idea, I guess. Yeah, having it switch forwarding things. Yeah, having so with like a player character, like the player is actually controlling or whatever. I've done stuff with like, take the forward direction of the camera and have input go along those directions and stuff like that. Just making that work with nav mesh stuff, I don't really know how that works, but yeah. So, but is there an easy way for me to force? Because I just set a destination and then it moves. I don't know. I don't know, like, what other... I'd have to do some more Googling and researching. It's probably something like this is possible, maybe. Oh, yeah, even, like... Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can... There's lots of information I see that I can read from path stuff. I know that... So, I guess one thing that I know is that, when I set the destination, it automatically calculates all the path stuff. I can do part of this manually. I can, like... I believe, yeah, find closest edge. Yeah, so I have, like, I can manually sort of make paths or whatever, and then, like, put that in. So I don't know if as part of that I can, yeah, hijack it to, like, oh, instead of going straight, we like more in a circle or something. I don't know. I could also, well, not, I was about to say I could have it, like, turn without moving and then go, but that doesn't, like... That only works if you're going in a straight line. If you're having to go around a bend, I don't... The cube shouldn't, like, keep stopping to turn every little time it, like, needs to turn around something. Yeah, is... Next position? Okay, is this, like, I can... Is this like I can set like, oh, once you reach your active destination, automatically start going to the this is whatever the next thing is. If that is what that is, that's cool. This is, yeah, setting the path directly. Path end position, yeah, okay. Yeah, things I can get radius. Oh, it's just the agent itself, sure. I know you can also have like, I can set up different nav meshes of like, if I hypothetically had, like, here's 2 different enemies, this thing can go on whatever surface, but, like, this thing can't. I know you can set that up, and, like, it's cool how that works, and isn't that hard to set up, but, yeah. If I keep sort of, yeah, implementing 3D platformer-esque things, if this eventually turns into a thing where it's like, oh, there's enemies that the character runs up to and kills as it getting from point A to point B, it'd be cool, like, yeah. I don't know how far I will take it, like this thing, because again, the more complicated it gets, like it might, like, it shouldn't necessarily be too noisy. I'll say up axis, you can do that? Interesting. Oh, as a bool. Yeah, sure. Warp, that's to set it the position, but have it not break everything with the nav mesh, I guess. Yeah, so there might be something in here to, like, yeah, have that turning do good. But yeah, that might be something I kind of look into on my own time. Anyways, so this is, as I said, I think we're, yeah, out of time for now, so I'm probably gonna get going. And, but yeah, good first start at this. Will I stream tomorrow? I'd like to hope that I will be. But so I did a game jam the last week, and in doing that, there's a lot of, like, stuff that I put off that I now have to kind of catch up on. So I got things to do. Once I get all that stuff done, then I imagine I'll be back to streaming. And, I'd like to think it will be continuing to work on this, but I don't know 100%. Either this, or maybe this. It just sucks that, like, so the next thing that I'd be doing is, yeah, more planning, and the planning is icky, where, like, I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know, moving the camera out, like, I don't know, what does it look like, colors, I don't know. Ideally, I'd like to come to next stream with, like, if I am doing more stuff with this, having a plan of, like, okay, this is what I want it to look like, and here's the color scheme that I want, let's just do it. I prefer, yeah, the stream kind of goes better when it's, like, more about the execution, the programming the things, and making the model, rather than just trying to figure out what I want any of that to look like in the first place. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So maybe stream tomorrow. Maybe not. Depends on, yeah, getting everything done that I gotta get done. But anyways, I think, yeah, we're gonna wrap things up for full today. So thank you everyone for dropping by. Raise desk for the end. Should we raid someone? We should raid someone because I see that I have more Twitch viewership than normal. Let's go. Raid you. Okay. Also, I'm rusty. Oh, I think did me moving my disc? Oh, the cord got caught. Hold on. It turned my camera. No. No, good? Oh, good. Great way to end off a stream. And there we go. Blah, blah, blah. Smell that right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, If any other last messages that I wish to say, no, I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah, thank people for dropping by. We're gonna ending up for now. Gotta actually do my outro. So I'm gonna get that's going. Cool. I do remember how to set it raised. Good. Anyways, so that'll do it for this live stream. If you liked it, look forward to more. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you around. Alright, there be outro, and now we go raid button for realsies. Alright, see you tomorrow, possibly, maybe, we'll see. If not, then the day after, or eventually, whatever. Alright, anyways, bye!